we set it up a meeting to go meet with Dame Dash. So we go after I leave Java, go to Rock to the Rock. As soon as I sit down there, Dame Dash opened up his checkbook, cut a check for $1 million. I'm like, whoa. I was like, is this for sure? He was like, no. He said, we want to with UGK. I was like, what? He was like, we want to with your boys.
It's like, I heard some shit about he has clothes on or something. I don't know. Like, I don't really know if all this is true, but I just heard parts like, I'm like, what happened to my guy?
Right.
And then they come out with the official. It was a mixture of some stuff, the prescription and something else or something that I don't really know. But with me, I never really heard something that would give that closure for me.
Mm-hmm.
I never really heard anything tangible or true, like what happened to my guy.
We are all aware that Pimp C's death has consistently been connected to the claim that Jay-Z supposedly took him out before he could disclose a recording he had with Beyonce.
Who was in this Pimp C tape?
All I can tell you, there was a famous R&B chick, and it was a guy that was getting money at the time. And, you know, Pimp, he used to be in the studio. And every now and then he'd have a camcorder, so he was able to get some footage. And he wanted to do something with the footage, but I don't know why he didn't do nothing with it, but if I could have got a hold of that tape, I'd be a billionaire, man. Whoever it was, they had to kill me, man. I know TMZ would have paid a bank for that one, man. But yeah, it is a tape, and if you read the comments, a lot of people figured out.
Okay.
A lot of people figured out because, you know, people that was in Houston at the time, they know who was a little loose.
According to reports, Shanara Butler, Pimp C's wife, has joined the conversation. She also believes that Pimp's death was caused by foul play, according to what I have heard. Rumors have been circulating on social media claiming Pimp C's widow is on the verge of revealing everything. And, darling, Queen Bee herself is being side-eyed by the internet.
Then our life just went to having Christian, him going to jail, and it's like, yeah, I'm gonna stick with him through this, through this, help however I can. And we decided then we were gonna get married.
The streets, who never sleep, claim that Shanara has t-shirts that imply Beyonce was a bit more out of touch than we initially believed in the early 2002, and that the reports that she had an affair with Pimp were accurate. I hope you are sit down, kid, since this tea is really hot.
And she was trained at the esteemed Berklee College of Music. Handpicked by my very good friend, Terry Lynn Carrington, Dr. Terry Lynn Carrington, who put together Beyonce's entire female band, which was Matthew Knowles' idea because he couldn't get Beyonce to stop people. Guess you didn't know your daughter well enough because she just started all the girls.
As everyone is aware, Pimp C and his comrade Bun B founded the rap duo Underground Kings, or UGK, in Port Arthur, Texas, in 1987. They were initially signed to the independent label Big Time Records, and the duo released 2 EPs, The Southern Way and Band, in 1992 to moderate local success, which led to the group being signed to Jive Records later that year. UGK's second album, Super Tight, was released in 1994 to critical acclaim and commercial success, charting at number 95 on the Billboard 200 and number 9 on the top R&B hip-hop albums chart. Then in 1996, UGK's third album, Right and Dirty, became their most successful, reaching number 2 on the Billboard Top R&B Hip-Hop Albums chart and number 15 on the Billboard 200. Unfortunately, they went on a short hiatus from music in the late 1992nd, but UGK returned in 2000, appearing on Jay-Z's smash hit single Big Pimpin', which peaked at number 18 on the Billboard 200, as well as Sippin' on Some Syrup by 3 6 Mafia, which peaked at number 30 on the US Hot R&B Hip-Hop Songs. However, these two partnerships significantly enhanced the pair's standing and fueled interest in their upcoming endeavor. However, the group had yet another challenge in 2002 when Pimp C was sentenced to 8 years in prison. In August of that year, UGK was once again forced to take a break, and both members pursued solo careers. Pimp C's debut studio album, The Sweet James Jones Stories, was released in March 2005, comprised of material recorded prior to Pimp C's incarceration. And after being released from prison in December 2005, Pimp C released his second solo album, Pimpilation, in July 2006 and peaked at number 3 on the US Billboard 200 and topped the US Hot R&B/Hip Hop Albums chart. Well, Pimp C didn't live long enough after that, because in early 2007, he was staying at the Mondrian Hotel in West Hollywood, California, where he had been working on new music and performing with Too Short. On the morning of the 4th of December, 2007, he was scheduled to fly back home where his wife, Shannara, who he married when he was in prison in 2003, was waiting with his cousin at the airport to pick him up. After not hearing from him the morning of the scheduled flight, his wife called the hotel and requested that they check on him. That is when the hotel staff discovered him unresponsive in his hotel room, where paramedics pronounced him dead shortly after. At the time, the coroner's report ruled his death accidental, attributing it to effects of his heavy usage of lean in conjunction with his pre-existing condition of sleep apnea. Let us just say that many people found Pimp C's death to be inexplicable, and at the time, there were rumors that Pimp may have been killed by Jay-Z because he threatened to release a tape featuring Beyonce. Actually, according to DJ Paul of 3 6 Mafia, something was just not adding up, and he said that Pimp's manager described seeing Pimp's body laying down like he was praying, but there was blood around like he was hit. They thought that he was probably hit in the head, but they didn't know what the hell happened, because there was a lot of blood everywhere. Based on what DJ Paul said, Pimp C was kneeling down like he was praying, and candles were all the way burnt down. So they knew he'd probably been dead for a day or so, because he always lit those candles to sleep. Now, other than DJ Paul, Too Short also said that he found the circumstances of Pimp C's death a little sus when he told Hip Hop DX, "I can't believe it's 10 years, and I have never till this day been able to accept the circumstances." That's a lot of these little weird situations with folks getting found in hotel rooms, and they always be by themselves in a hotel somewhere in some strange-ish. And I'm just like, what the hell is going on with celebrities in hotel rooms? Checking the 27 Club? You know what that is? Well, the one thing you should know is that there was already something going on between Jay-Z and Pimp C, and in an episode of The Art of Dialogue, record executive Greg Taylor told a story about an awkward encounter that happened over the phone with Jay-Z and Pimp C. The story was that shortly after the deal for Jay-Z and UGK to collaborate on Big Pimpin' was cut, he contacted Pimp C, and when he broke the news to him during the call, which was regrettably conducted over speakerphone, Pimp openly disparaged Jay-Z, saying that he should give the money. He was promising them to Tupac's mom.
We set it up a meeting to go meet with Dame Dad. So we go, after I leave Java, go to Rock, to the Rock. As soon as I sit down there, Dame Dash opened up his checkbook, cut a check for $1 million. I'm like, whoa. I was like, is this for sure? He was like, no. He said, we want to with UGK. I was like, what? He was like, we want to with your boys.
That's right.
So I immediately picked up the phone and called Pimp C. Because all I was trying to get was 100,000. When Dame cut that $1 million, I called Pimp on the phone like, yo, Pimp, and him and Jamal was in the house. And I could hear a tussle or some type of confrontation, right? And I'm like, calm down, bro. Y'all calm down, Pimp.
I ran up the cable bill.
They was fighting. Okay, they was fighting like hard. And I'm like, Pimp, stop whatever you doing right now. I told you what's going down with Jamal when you moved him up in there. I said, but right now, I got $1 million check for you. And all we wanted was 100,000. I was just like, who is that with? I said, with Rockefeller. He was like, what? I was like, yeah. He was like, I'm watching Dan with the checkbook, he writing it out. He was like, ain't that with, over there with Jay-Z? I was like, yeah. He was like, man, tell him to take that check to go give it to Tupac mama, man. He's gonna be stealing all my shit. I was like, what?
I have no idea why Pimp C said that Pac's mother should receive the money, but your guess is probably as good as mine. When Bun B was recounting a time when they were in the studio with Beyonce, and Pimp C was also present, Jay-Z contacted the studio to inquire about who was present. This raises the question of whether Pimp C had direct contact with Beyonce. He insisted that all men leave the room, notably Pimp C, after learning that Beyonce was wearing a spicy attire.
So he's like, wait a minute, how many dudes are there? And so she's like, oh, it's about 9 or 10 guys, I guess, over there. Where are they now? They're in here, they're in the soundstage, they're kind of watching, watching her film. What is she wearing? They describe the outfit, and he's like, yo, clear the room.
Wow.
So they immediately come over to us, and they kick all of us out, send us up to our dressing rooms.
Wow.
And we're told to stay there.
Wow.
Until we have to shoot.
Okay.
We're not allowed to watch Beyonce dance anymore in the video.
Bun B then mentioned a moment when Beyonce's father warned Pimp C not to hook up with Beyonce when he was discussing his interactions with the singer.
Hanging out, and Matthew Knowles comes in and he asks Pimp, "Can I talk to you for a minute?" And so they leave out for a couple of minutes, and Pimp comes in and he's dying laughing. And we're like, what's wrong? He's like, "Yo, Matthew Knowles just told me don't f his daughter, man. Please don't. Please, my daughter."
Jay-Z reportedly objected to Pimp C's presence due to the circulating rumors regarding the recording and Beyonce's supposed inability to control herself. You know, there have been long-standing suspicions that Bey was having affairs with women in addition to other guys. Do you guys recall, for example, the interview or story in which Emile, who worked with Beyonce on I Got That, said that she is actually gay and that Beyonce was in love with her? You will not locate the interview if you search for it, but there have long been whispers that Emile's claim that Beyonce loved her was a contributing factor in her career termination. Speaking about interviews that appear to have been removed from the internet, Lady Gaga also mentioned collaborating with Beyonce over the phone in one of them. "We had an amazing time working together on her video, and it just kind of works out because we both like women." She most likely meant that Beyonce enjoys supporting and liking women in general. However, as some have pointed out, Lady Gaga might have meant that literally. Furthermore, there was a purported report in the past that stated Beyonce was spotted at the box with 3 girlfriends enjoying the club's risque show surrounded by a huge bodyguard and protective curtains around their table. A source even said at the time Beyonce was really making the most of the burlesque strip show. She was on the table in the VIP balcony, cheering loudly as the 2 girls got naked and licked each other's feet. She stayed until 3:3 the morning. Another story, which has since been removed off the internet, claimed that a woman sat on Bey's lap while they were dancing at a club, and that Bey told her something along the lines of, "Do not start something you cannot finish." Additionally, there were reports that Beyonce and the female guitarist she used to play with on her tour had an inappropriately intimate relationship. So, yes, a lot has been written about how Bey used to sleep around, which is why some people think that Pimp C is on that video. Pimp C's widow has reportedly intimated that she is holding onto stories that might rock a few images, and Beyonce's may be one of them, according to the streets. To be honest, I am not sure how to feel about it, because if the story is accurate, would not Pimp C's reputation be damaged? Because he videotaped Bey without her agreement when she was not yet of legal age. What is the point of this now, anyway? I am not really sure, baby. I am not really sure, guys. However, I would appreciate it if you could share your ideas in the comments section below.